on, Conscious Truth, your favorite breakdown commentator, CTV. Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. You already know what we're here to get into. Before we do so, go ahead and thumbs up the video until it's absolutely stuck. You guys know that thumbing up the video not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notifications. So when you are thumbing up the video, you are literally knocking on the digital door of another Conscious crew member and telling them to get their black asses into the sanctuary, because the king is in fact king. Also, make sure that you have your notification bell set to all. Shout out to all of the new subbies. All donation information is in the description box below. $ Consciouztv on Cash App, spelled just how it is here on the platform, and or PayPal.me/ConsciouzTV, spelled just how it is here on the platform. All handles in, once again, the description box below. And last but not least, please share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital community, whether that be your YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your MySpace, your Facebook, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you, in fact, lay the link. Just let them whores know that we're live, and we are certainly in color. With no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, Conscious crew? Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are doing well. I just got up and finished with laying my baby hairs and flat ironing my natural hair. I am thinking about bleaching my hair again, kind of like, I can't explain what I'm trying to do, because I have like a balayage situation going on, a balayage like ombre situation going on. I'm thinking about bringing the bleach further up on my hair and then giving it one more coat of bleach, because I kind of want a soft pink ombre situation. Y'all know I love me ombre situation, child. I feel like colored hair looks more natural when you have an ombre going on, especially if you are a black person. We know that we don't have blue damn roots, and we don't have red damn roots, and orange damn roots, and ginger damn baby hairs and things, you know. Only white folk can get away with looking aight because they look already like cartoon characters. We look like real boys and girls. Pale people look like artificial intelligence already, baby. So they can get away with wearing them strong ass, vibrant colors and all of their glory right from the scalp, girl, right from the rooty to the tootie, baby. But us, child, we are the bush babies of the earth, child. So I like me a nasty ombre situation, and I'm just getting a pink. There's a pink obsession, a pink spirit, a pink principality that's on me right now. Pink is calling out to me. Pink is one of those hair colors, not like a strong, stupid pink, but like a soft cotton candy pink, like a real feminine, very menstrual pink, girl. Hold on, girl. Is it not pink? Not even menstrual, girl. Like a Pepto pink, baby. Something real dainty. Just because that's my energy. I gotta, so funny. I don't be realizing it till after the fact, but every time I want to like put color on, it ironically is a symbolic representation to my psychological state at the time, child. And I guess because I am really in my soft shit, that pink is calling out to me, child. So we'll figure that all out. I'm probably going to bleach the shit out my hair and color my hair by the time this stream is over with. But anyway, we're here to get into the things. Let me speak to y'all, girl. What's going on, Tanika? Hey, Sherry. What's going on, Danielle? Hey, Moon Witch. What's going on, Tracy? Hey, is that What's going on, Lady Butterfly? Hey, Danny. Hey, V Thompson. Hey, Lauren. What's going on, Mary? What's going on, Lumen? Hey, Medusa. Hey, Miss Mika. Hey, Deanna. Hey, Lady Butterfly. What's going on, Linnell? Hey, Sabby. Hey, Bo. What's going on, y'all? Hey, Jay Ivory. Hey, Lady J. What's going on? Yes, a nasty rose pink child. What's going on, D Paris? What's going on, Sandra? Hey, Homes by Angel. Love the way he did on period. What's going on, Tamika? Hey, Demetrius. What's going on? Love pink. I love pink. I just love it, love it, love it, love it. What's going on, Lula, Danny? Plus, like, I love the troll society with homosexuality anyway. So let's get into it. We got a few things to get into. Some things stuck out to me that I want to speak upon. And I guess first thing first, let's get into the Wendy segment, bruh. Let's get into the Wendy segment. Y'all run the thumbs up. I forgot to get a visual for Wendy. Hold on, y'all. Let me get a visual for Wendy, child. Because Wendy recently did another press tour around the United Digital States of America. And she interviewed again with the Breakfast Club. I think this is like her third interview with the Breakfast Club. And she also interviewed with Don Lemon again. And they got into some of the deets of what went down, when there's $1 billion on the memory ward of the facility that she's being held hostage at, if you let Wendy Williams tell it, okay? They got into what had took place, what they was trying to do, and practically, baby, Wendy ass was trying to escape Alcatraz, girl. So I'm going to let you guys hear this in her own words, courtesy of the Breakfast Club. This is going to be a fair use. So shout out to the Breakfast Club. And we're going to talk a little bit about it, child, because there's a lot going on. It is a lot going on, y'all. It's a lot going on. All right.
About this whole process, man. I want to salute Gina, and I want y'all to walk us through what happened yesterday with Wendy. It was a lot going on. We saw Wendy leaving the facility with all the police.
Yep.
What happened?
Well, the police showed up, and I'm exhausted. You know what I'm saying? I am exhausted.
I bet you is, bitch. You around there parachuting off rooftops and shimmying down damn chimneys and everything, baby. I bet your ass is exhausted.
I wanted to go to the hospital to talk to the doctor, Gina, you can expound upon that a bit, please.
So we were actually trying to figure out how to kind of break through and get some kind of motion into this case, because we were pretty stuck at one point waiting for the lawyers to get through and get some type of trial. So I did two things. I wrote a letter.
Girl, so basically what Gina just admitted to, girl, is that because they impatient as hell, as if Wendy already ain't been stuck up in a conservatorship for the past 3 years, that they went on ahead because the lawyers are delayed and courts are delayed, girl, and everybody is taking their precious ass time. They decided to get out here and make some motherfucking noise, baby, and get shit shaken and started up in New York. Baby, and got to call it in the goddamn SWAT team, child. Started making moves, baby. Okay, this some gangster shit.
To the Adult Protective Services, explains to them Wendy's situation. She was isolated, and we needed an investigation. Yesterday morning, during our morning calls, I told Wendy we will be calling the police. And we will be speaking to police, and we will be telling them that you are isolated.
Listen,
and we need some help.
So two police showed up, where I was, at the coterie, and so I was telling them, the same, and the next thing there are two more police, so there are 4 in total, and I was talking with Gina, and saying, go ahead, Gina.
Yep, and the police came into the room. Wendy gave me the phone, and I pleaded with the police as if Wendy was my child. Please, you need to get her off this floor. And listen, she is confined.
I told them I am not incapacitated, as I've been accused. And this floor that I live on is the memory unit. The people who live there don't remember anything. Unlike me, like, why am I here? What is going on? It's a cry for help. You know what I'm saying? Charlemagne, you know, I talk to you often and a lot.
Mhm.
And Gina, go ahead and talk, please.
Now, Gina, let me ask you one question.
Yes.
There was something yesterday that said that Wendy dropped a note out the window, and that's how the police were called. Is that true? Is there any truth to that?
No.
That's so funny. Wendy's talking to me on the phone and she's like, Gina, there's a photographer downstairs. What do I do?
Yep.
And I'm like, she's like, should I write them something? And I'm
Listen,
like, yes, write out.
Let me tell you, this happened early in the morning. And it just so happens, you know, because I have a window, a bathroom, and a bedroom, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at the window and I see somebody say hi. So I'm like, hi back. And I get on the phone and I'm talking with Gina, you know, and my niece. And I asked them this, that, and the third. Go ahead, Gina.
Yes, the note had nothing to do with it. Wendy and I actually called the police directly.
Okay.
And convinced the police to come over to do a welfare check.
Mm-hmm.
And yes.
No, go ahead, finish.
And just insisted and pleaded with the officer on the phone that you have to get Wendy out of here. We have a guardian who is telling the whole building and the world that she's incapacitated.
Yeah.
And she needs to be on a locked unit.
Yeah.
And I said, please, I said, you cannot walk out of that building without Wendy. And she told me, I promise, I will not.
Yeah, I was shocked to see Wendy walking yesterday. That's what I was telling Wendy yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I can't. So we seen them with Fadima feet. I was like, I cannot believe.
Look,
Wendy.
let me tell you something. So the cops say to me, you know what I'm saying? They say, Wendy, you know, you have to leave the scooter. I said, okay, but just walk with me, okay? And so they walked with me. So it was like exercise for my feet. Go ahead, Gina.
Yeah, and so when the officers were there, Wendy started to feel she had a little bit of anxiety. And I said, tell them that you need to go to the hospital. And I said, when you go to the hospital, you're going to ask for an independent medical evaluation.
Yes.
But the building was giving us a hard time. They first sent a nurse.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Wendy, we'll take care of it. I'll take your vitals.
And I said, no, thank you. No, thank you.
And I'm on the phone and I'm like, no, we need a medical doctor.
Right.
The nurse says, oh, we have a doctor in the building.
No, I want an independent doctor.
That's
And
right.
I'm like, no.
Doctor.
Yeah, I said, no, she needs to get out. We need to go to a hospital. That's not a hospital.
Right.
We need to get her out of there and she needs to be seen by medical outside of this facility. And then finally, the cops were okay with that. And then the ambulance, and Wendy was okay as well. And they called the ambulance.
So just to clear it up, so they didn't want her to leave. They tried to do everything to make sure she didn't leave.
Internal.
Listen. And then I was on the phone. I was on the phone with Gina, and then I'm on the phone with my lawyer. You know what I'm saying? My lawyer was like, oh, okay, and I'm going to meet you at the hospital. You know what I'm saying?
I'm surprised I'm surprised Sabrina Morrissey didn't come and jump on the ambulance.
No, please. my lawyer, Sadatu, was on it.
Yeah.
Question.
In what way, Jay Ivory, because there's a lot of people who feel like this is ridiculous. Jay Ivory says the situation don't feel right, y'all. I can't put my finger on it, though. Or we don't put our whole hand on it, though. Look at some of the previous live streams, child. We done been around all around the mulberry bush when it comes to this Wendy situation. And while I do, I think what they're doing is commendable, because I do think that Wendy should have some independent evaluations done outside of the appointed physicians by Sabrina or by the conservatorship judge, because I can understand why that would not be enough for the family and friends, because, you know, the issue of bias could come into play yet. You know, are people being paid off to fake evaluations and fake results? So I'm here for the independent analysis, but I also fully stand by the fact that Wendy needs to have at least part-time guardianship in her life. She needs to have an overhead, because Wendy is a chronic addict, and she's been a chronic addict her whole entire life. She almost unalived herself the last 4 years of her life prior to the conservatorship. She drunk herself into an alcoholic-induced coma. that resulted in her needing several blood transfusions. She was found in her condo unresponsive by the DJ of the Wendy Williams show, DJ Booth. And, you know, she's been in and out of mental health facilities, in and out of drug rehab facilities. This was causing a lot of inconsistencies when it came to her capacity to work. Ultimately, she had to lose her show to Sherry Shepherd as a result of her addictions. You guys know Wendy Williams, you know, has chronicled her addictions, saying that, you know, she's been addicted to powder since she's been in her early 20s, even when she was getting her ass whooped on air by Beyonce and Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston and Judge Mathis, that, you know, she would come to work zooted and booted and nobody would act like, you know, it was a problem, because ultimately she was able to be a high functioning user. And maybe even using is what kind of created certain elements of Wendy Williams, you know, that Kokiana gave her extra Pokemon meters on the bar. Okay. So Wendy definitely has been a struggling addict, and I'm still not convinced that she is over it, because I think the thing that's really burning her up about this conservatorship, this living facility, living on the memory ward situation, living in this high-rise old folks home scenario, is not just the isolation. I'm not ruling that out. Of course, you know, she's up in age. Of course, she wants to socialize. Wendy is an extroverted person, so she likes being around people. She's in the business of people. So I'm sure that isolation is definitely a point of irritation. But I also fully believe that sobriety is a point of isolation. And that was corroborated when we found out, due to one of the facility workers and employees pretty much letting TMZ know that the reason why Wendy had to be put on the memory ward, because remember, she's been making all this whole ordeal, and she's going to go into it now. Well, not now, but she's going to go into it at some point in the interview and be like, yo, they got me, you know, on this floor with all these people who got half a fucking brain. Like, they don't even remember the last hour. I can remember all the way up to last week, girl. We're not the same. You know, they not like me, you know, hashtag. But the employee of the facility said that Wendy actually initially was put on a lower floor. She had full accessibility. She could come and go as she pleased. But what had happened was Wendy got her alcohol addicted ass up on that rooftop where that restaurant is, because this facility has like a restaurant bar situation, I guess, for other employees, for those who work in this building, live in this building. And the bitch was getting drunk at the facility care situation place, girl, and was drunker than the Cooter Brown, honey, was ciphering liquor from the rooftop. So what Sabrina did was move her ass to the memory care floor, where she was on a secured floor, where she could not just willy-nilly come and go as she pleased. And remember, she could be suffering from a alcohol-induced dementia. So drinking is what led to her initial incapacitation to begin with. She might not be quote-unquote incapacitated now, but what led to the development of frontal temporal dementia, what led to all of that, was the alcohol drinking. Now, as we done said in previous live streams, we know that if she in fact is suffering from alcohol-induced dementia, that can be reversed. So Wendy might have in fact reversed it as a result of the very strong regimen she's been put on in this facility. Okay, she can't do shit but eat right and sing Mariah Carey songs at that big ass window. Okay, she got to take her medication around the clock. You know, she's not able to get raggedy. She's not able to get Hollywood. She's not able to do Hollywood things. She's not able to indulge in the booger sugar and none of the things, child. So this very strict regimen might have resulted in reversing the alcohol-induced dementia. She is supposed to undergo a FTD examination. They're supposed to rescan her brain. to see if the damage to her frontal temporal is still there or not. And then that will be a bit of information and tea that might result in her freedom, or at least her partial freedom when it comes to this conservatorship. So I do stand behind them doing what they got to do for her to get some independent evaluations that are not court appointed by the judge who's over this guardianship. But because Wendy has suffered her whole life and almost killed herself in the last few years before she was finally put into this guardianship, I do believe that guardianship needs to be in place at least part-time, honey. I stand by that. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, Dr. Salami.
Yeah, she
That's my
did.
lawyer.
I actually called her, told her that Wendy was going to be admitted into the hospital.
Yeah.
And she drove from Long Island to the hospital. She actually stood by Wendy's side because I said, you have to be there and you have to tell the doctors that Wendy's being held captive. The world thinks that she's incapacitated and they need to do an independent exam.
Right.
Because the issue here was that Wendy has a guardian. So that guardian is in charge of medical decisions as well.
And it is.
And
So I
by the
told
way,
her, yeah.
by the way, at the hospital, they tell me that my guardian was right here, you know, on the other side of right here, and never said hi. And my lawyer can attest to that. You know, say the guardian person
Sabrina
was
Morrison.
in the hospital. Yes, and never said
Pretty
anything
much,
to me at
Demetrius.
all.
She was at the hospital yesterday.
Pretty much a Demetrius. So the memory care served as her sober house. You know, people saying craziness. There ain't really been no craziness. So let me just unpack the context here, because see, you know, a lot of y'all like to lose continuity. Sabrina Morrissey gets a lot of smoke because of the narrative that Alex and Wendy like to put out about Sabrina Morrissey, who is a New York-based attorney who was assigned to care for Wendy with the guardianship, right? But as things played out the last few months, we have discovered that a lot of the narratives about Sabrina Morrissey that have been put out by Wendy and Wendy's family have actually been fabrications because of the contradictory things that have come out of Wendy's mouth since she's been doing these interviews. For instance, in the first Breakfast Club interview, Wendy said out of both sides of her mouth that Sabrina Morrissey is taking all her money. Then in the same literal breath, out of the other side of her super soaker throater, she also said that the scooter that we see her pooching around in is one of the most expensive, high-brand pieces of technology that are on the electric scooter market to this day. Now, because Sabrina Morrissey is in charge of her goddamn finances, that means that Sabrina Morrissey would have had to sign off on this purchase, and that Wendy still has the money to make these type of expensive purchases. Also, in that same interview, where they were trying to drag Sabrina Morrissey, oh, she's stealing her money, she's so controlling, etc., Wendy also said that she had just got back from Miami celebrating her son, Kevin Hunter Jr.'s graduation, who stole all her goddamn money and put her in this predicament to begin with. But for his graduation, she had brought him a very expensive ass car for graduation. Well, guess who the hell would have had to sign off on a very expensive ass car purchase? That would have been Sabrina Morrissey. Also, in the second, not even the second interview with the Breakfast Club, but in the TMZ documentary, Wendy spoke about having a Miami apartment that her son, Kevin Hunter Jr., is running amok in. Guess who would have had to sign off on a goddamn Miami apartment? Guess who would have had to sign off on rent per month for that apartment, etc.? Who would have had to green like that? Miss Sabrina Morrissey. She also said in the Breakfast Club interview that Sabrina sold her New York condo, which she had been wanting done for a very long time, and also, thanked Sabrina Morrissey for doing so. But here's the bigger gag and the bigger truth about the Sabrina Morrissey narrative. Wendy been flapping her raggedy ass mouth all around town. Control, 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 control. Sabrina is controlling. She's controlling. Well, first of all, she is a appointed guardian. So she's supposed to, you know, pretty much supervise Wendy's life. That is literally what her legal job requires of her. That is the point of guardianships. So that would not be diabolical in and of itself. However, everything got exposed when the Where is Wendy Williams AME or a Lifetime documentary happened either last year or a year before last. Remember in that documentary how Wendy was living in her New York condo? She had all of her own personal staff still on payroll, not the court staff, not Sabrina Morrissey's staff. She was living alone in her New York-based apartment. She had her own staff, her own personal assistants, her own wardrobe stylist, etc., girl. And remember, they were out there taking her out drinking. Staff was buying her bottles of liquor. She was bullying her staff into supplying her with liquor, things that she was not supposed to be indulging in due to the fact that she had alcohol-induced dementia, which would only escalate her mental health. For her to have been living alone, for her to have had her personal staff on payroll, what we pretty much didn't know we were looking at was Sabrina Morrissey attempting to let Wendy live her life as a grown-ass woman. She initially gave Wendy all the freedom in the world. She was not trying to infringe upon this woman's work and what she did and how she did it. She came and gone as she pleased. She even went out of town in the documentary, honey. You know, she had pretty much as much autonomy that one can imagine, even under a guardianship. But it wasn't until that bitch saw the replay on the docuseries, baby, when Sabrina Morrissey saw the way that Wendy had her shit set up, baby, when she saw how raggedy Wendy Williams' ass was living, when she saw that Wendy's personal employees were incompetent and they were vulnerable and compromisable because they were being yes men to her and supplying her with that liqueur, and then she knew, girl, that she had been appointed to make sure that this woman was getting the proper care and this was going to be a total bad look on her. That's when she wrapped Wendy ass up in a pretty little bow. So as far as I'm concerned, Wendy fucked up her own shit. Sabrina Morrissey came in real kind, real, I'm going to play the background. I'm going to let you do your thing. You're going to be innocent until proven guilty. If you give me a reason to have to click clank on your ass, I'm a click clank. But if you can be self-governing, then hey, baby, you know, I can stay Casper. I can stay Phantom of the Opera girl and live in the shadows of your life, and you really would never have to see me or my involvement as long as you can run your shit. And like always, Wendy showed that she could not run her shit. So Wendy did it to herself. So I am of the unpopular, I'm on the unpopular opinion side of the Wendy Williams narrative. I do not have a negative perception of Sabrina, because when you tally up everything and run everything up, girl, Sabrina Morrissey actually acted accordingly, because I thought it was very jovial of her to have came in initially with a soft landing and giving Wendy autonomy and giving Wendy, you know, the space to kind of make her own bed and decide what type of bed she wanted to make. All right. So, you know, all of the rah around Sabrina Morrissey's name, it's just not given. The facts are not supporting the facts. And to make matters worse, and this is what really took me over the edge when it came to Wendy, the fact that Wendy supported a whole public lie. The fact that since she's been in this guardianship, she's made us believe that Wells Fargo was some red horn demon out there trying to prey on the checking accounts of the wealthy, and that there was scandal going on at the bank, only for her ass to turn around in that TMZ documentary last month and admit that Wells Fargo's findings were true, that her son, Kevin Hunter Jr., was stealing her coin, living fucking crazy. He had her ass locked up in his Miami house as if she was in a damn conservatorship. She didn't even have access to her phone. And when Wells Fargo was trying to raise the flag on what was going on with Wendy's money, and all these large chunks of coin was coming out of her account, $100,000 on Uber Eats, $300,000 on birthdays, hundreds of thousands of dollars, just back to back to back to back to back, just leaving and being withdrawn from Wendy's account. He had her phone locked up, so she was never even able to respond or even be aware of what Wells Fargo was trying to put her up on game on. And because they could not contact her, that's why they ran their ass to the courts, because she was inaccessible. They did not have a way to communicate with her because her son was stealing all of her coin, running her black card down to the ground, and had her phone chained up so that there could be no intervention and keep Wendy in the dark about him exploiting his own mother. And yet, even though all that was tea, Wendy got out here in publications and slandered the fuck out of Wells Fargo. So I know Wendy is not in the business of telling the truth. Wendy is a narcissistic, pathological liar who is going to say whatever needs to be said in order to get whatever her needs and her agenda is met. That's what she's going to do. Okay? Wendy might tell the truth about everybody else, but she don't tell the truth about herself. She might tell you the tea on Nene, on Diddy, on Omarosa, on J-Lo, on J-Ho, on everybody, but when it comes to her, baby, ain't gonna be no truth in her, girl. Okay, whatever Wendy got to say to get her needs met, she's going to say, even if that's a bona fide ass motherfucking lie. So I take Wendy at face value and with a grain of damn salt, child.
Yeah, yes. This is yesterday morning. Yes, yesterday in the afternoon. Yeah, she was here.
She never said anything to you. You know, did you see read the Vanity Fair article? I don't know how you would have read it though, Wendy. But she said that you guys have a really good. Oh, hey, Wendy. She said that you guys have a really great relationship and that you guys it's very friendly when you see each other, and that happens often. But she was at the hospital yesterday and didn't say anything to you.
Please. She because she's lying about the Vanity Fair.
What you mean she's lying in Vanity Fair? You mean?
Yes, about what was being said. According to what she was.
Now here it is, girl. Wendy better be careful, girl. I don't know why Charlamagne or this helper outer on the phone with Wendy did not speak for her, because they know that Wendy is under a gag order. She's not supposed to be speaking publicly about Sabrina. So, I don't know if this gonna come back to bite Wendy in her flat ass, but she ain't supposed to be speaking about this woman. There was a gag order put on her by the judge after the first round of interviews last month. So she is in direct breach of that gag order.
And she was there with, anyway. The point is that then where I am, at that coterie, right now, there is another person right there. Like, if I open the door, there's a person from the coterie.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's very sad. You know what I'm saying?
Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking to Wendy Williams, and Gina is also on the line.
Gina Lisa, she's the president of Connect Care Advisory Group.
Who is Wells Fargo? Y'all better learn how to read and how to comprehend. Whenever you do business with any national commercial banking institution, all of them, from Bank of America to Wells Fargo, etc., are able to do what Wells Fargo did. That's who they are. They are a banking institutions that are federally regulated. They can flag your account. They can kick you out of their banking institution. Just ask Kanye West, who was banking with what it was, Chase. And when he went on his first rounds of anti-Semitism, they kicked his motherfucking ass right up out of there. Told him to come get his motherfucking coin. Okay? The banks are able to flag your shit, and they are able to go to the courts and petition for a financial guardianship if they cannot contact you and believe that you are being exploited. So that's who Wells Fargo think they are. They exercised legal rights. And because they could not get in contact with her because of her son, they were forced to go to the courts and to bring the issue to them in an attempt to protect her. So all roads lead back to her son, not to Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo actually did the right thing. They did exactly what they were supposed to do, because Wendy, between not having her phone and having a son who don't fall far from the tree, aka his father, girl, ain't no telling where her finances would be at this point.
Now tell us what happened when you got to the hospital, because there were claims that they did a test and she got 10 out of 10 on the test. So what happened when she actually got to the hospital?
Well, when I got to the hospital,
and that's the hypocrisy of the democracy right there. Conscious, you right. How is she mad at her guardian when in actuality she's fine with hanging with the same people who put her in the situation to have a guardianship, you know? And I guess this is where love is blind and it will take over your mind. You know what else it will take over? My ability to have called 911 on a Kevin goddamn Hunter Jr. bitch. You would have been locked the fuck up fucking with me, baby. Mama's love would have been a mama's love from prison, baby. I will take the collect calls, but I'm going to take them from prison, bitch. Because ain't enough love in the motherfucking world. You down there got all this shit to say about the conservatorship that sobered you up and made you healthy. The conservatorship is the one that gave you the results, that got you on the phone with everybody all day, got you on a world tour right now. But yet, you are wanting the conservatorship to give you permission to pooch on down there to Miami so you can sip tea and eat crumpets with your thieving ass son, who escalated this whole ordeal and took advantage of you behind your motherfucking wig. Make it make sense, girl. It's a tomfoolery of Wendy's life for me, girl. Just a circus.
you know, immediately, you know, and saying, you know, I get checked in, right? And then, you know, they checked me for the heart palpitations, and they did all kinds of scans, and Gina, can you expound upon?
Yes. So she arrived at the hospital, and the attorney convinced the doctors. So according to what was told, the guardian was there and Wendy's attorney.
Her son is still in Miami living off her money, because she was still dragging his ass in the TMZ interview, saying that he down there in Miami, living in her Miami place with weird ass people, and that there's a woman that is a part of his friendship group who even tried to call into Wells Fargo to defraud Wendy by trying to imitate her in order to access money that was in her account. So not only was Kevin Hunter trying to exploit his mother, he was having the people around him participate in his agenda to steal from his mama around him too. And they still living off her coin to this day. Baby, that's some diabolical ish.
And I think there was a little back and forth as whether she was going to allow Wendy, the guardian, to get evaluated.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor saw there was a difference between the guardian's opinion and her lawyer's opinion, and the doctor had to go to his legal.
Kevin Hunter Jr. is giving one of them sons, baby, who would set his mama up. Set her ass up to be murdered so he can collect on the insurance and everything, girl. That happened a few years ago. I forgot the name of the woman who was killed, girl, but she was like a boss babe. you know, 6-figure, high-earning CEO, her son set her ass up, had her ass murdered for the coin girl. Kevin, baby, you can't let love beat us blind, baby. You still got to have some goddamn common sense, no matter how much you feel for people. Because as far as I'm concerned, girl, Kevin Hunter Jr. is more dangerous than Sabrina Morrissey is. He had his mama down there in Miami without a phone, stealing all her money and letting her get drunk up so that she didn't know what day or time it was, so that she couldn't operate with a cognitive functioning brain. Was drugging her ass up off the brown liquor while doing her back end on the back end.
From the hospital to clear to see how he was going to do it. He received the clearance for the evaluation, and then Wendy took 2 evaluations, and pretty much they're evaluating whether she has competency and is able to make decisions, and she passed both tests.
What does the 10-10 mean?
I'm sorry?
What does the 10-10, what does it mean? Tell me what 10
out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, correct. 10
now listen to this part, y'all.
questions asked, 10 questions correct, answered correctly.
I mean, they asked me simple things like, you know, who's the president? You know what I'm saying? What's my birth date? Anyway, yeah, I scored.
Who'd you tell them the president was, Wendy?
Oh, please.
So she did undergo a 10 out of 10. She scored, you know, all A's across the psych eval. At the same time, she just let y'all know that a psych eval ain't nothing but a hooked on phonics Q&A girl. Okay, so it ain't like a psych eval is some in-depth exploration into the depths and levels of your cognitive ability, baby. It is a simple 1, 2, 3. Do you know what day it is? Who is the president? You know, simple, elementary, 5th grade Q&A ask question. So she did pass it. But the question was never, is Wendy crazy? The question has been whether she still has FTD. Okay, so that's going to be the smoking GUN. That's going to be the examination that's going to matter. That's going to be of substance here, is if she still has FTD, because the FTD diagnosis was pretty much the substance of the approval of guardianship. So we're still waiting on that. If you guys want to go over to the Breakfast Club and finish the rest of the interview, you can do so. So shout out to Wendy Williams. I'm glad she's finally getting some tests made. They still kind of waiting on the lawyers to do what they need to do. And, you know, with all things considered, I stand by the fact that she needs to have a partial guardianship in her life. Wendy is still out here in interviews talking about being horny as hell. You know, her brother Tommy told us years ago that Wendy Williams always does this. She gets in these facilities, she starts sobering up and doing good. It's all about the family. As soon as her ass is free, her ass is for them streets. She running around riding the dick of 21-year-olds, girl, and she hot and horny out there in New York. And I'd be damned if Wendy didn't say the last time to the Breakfast Club, girl, no, to TMZ, that she doesn't want to go back to Miami. She want to stay in New York. She want to get on some dick. I said, baby, Tommy caught the play, girl. Play by play by play. I'd be damned if her brother did not call the script, girl. So, you know, I would like to see Wendy with a bit more freedom and, you know, being able to do things that she's well enough to do. But I am pro part-time conservatorship. Pro part-time conservatorship. Now, let's get into another guardianship topic, girl. You guys know that this DDG or DVD and chicken of the sea conversation has been stirring the pot, girl. The fans have been fanning, child. It's a lot going on ever since DVD, or as I like to call them, DD and G, exposed the fact that Ariel has been withholding his son Halo, okay? And he pretty much said that ever since Halo has been in the world, since he's been born, Haley has practically hogged him. And that, you know, they have a 1 week on, 1 week off custody arrangement outside the courts that she's not holding her into, because when it's his week, he's not into his week no more than 3 days before she's at the house. And there is footage to support what he's saying. Now that we have the context of what's going on, girl, I look at these things in a totally different capacity. Matter of fact, I should have had some of this shit blown up already, because I just saw something. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Hold on, y'all. Y'all thumbs up. I need to find something real quick. Y'all run those likes up, child. So he been out here pretty much saying he doesn't want to go to court because he doesn't want her exposed. He knows that she got a lot going on. She got the Beyonce Rock Nation cosign, and he doesn't want to have to do what he knows is going to be done to her if the courts get involved. You know, he gonna have to tell the truth about some things, girl. They're gonna have to look into some things, girl, and it ain't gonna work out too well for Chicken of the Sea, girl. So he does not want to put the courts in their business. So he is not wanting to go down that road. At the same time, he needs access to his son and felt like coming to the internet was the last resort, which has not resorted in him having his son. So he's going to have to do the thing that he doesn't want to do, unfortunately, child. And I'm trying to find this footage. Let me see something. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Let me try to find this footage. Because it was something that I had found it there, girl. And since he came out with the tea, fans have been putting together compilations, which we played in a previous live stream. Hold on, let me put this in. They've been putting together compilations of seemingly every time that DDG has Halo, like Halle is like trying to grab him, trying to get, you know, him out of DDG's arms. And it's happened on multiple occasions. Oh, here it is. I think this is what it is. Here it is. Let me see. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Hold on, y'all. Okay, yeah, that's it. So, the fans have been split down the middle. So, Halle fans have also gotten to work as well, girl. So, they found like they caught DDG pretty much trolling. I guess they're trying to discredit him. They're trying to say, oh, he's lying, da-da-da-da-da. I do believe that DDG will lie about a lot of things, baby. But what I don't believe is that he would intentionally fuck with his baby mama in this way as it relates to their son, because he knows that it could result in what it is resulting in, you know, which is a issue regarding time spent and time well with his child. I do believe that DDG, you know, he is a bit of a clown. He definitely likes to troll his women. He likes to troll social media, but I do not in any way, shape, or form believe that he is trolling in this situation at all. I don't believe he would do that to his son. So this is the video that they have put together, which is DDG admitting that he received a video of his son walking for the first time, and then he came back in a future video and said that he found out through the internet. So check this out.
I wasn't here. I wasn't here when this happened. But I did get a video before y'all seen it, so that made me happy. But Halo was walking. Like, thing is, when he started walking.
Okay, now that was what he said early on. This is what he said recently.
I seen it. See, I don't even want to say all of that. See, but I didn't know he started walking until I went on the internet. I didn't even know. I seen it on the internet. It's not cool, bro. When I got home, he know how to walk. I didn't miss so much shit.
Okay, so this to me makes a lot of sense because DDG already admitted that he's been trying to protect her image. He's been trying to keep what's been going on in the background. He's been trying to stay private about it. So he's already admitted that he has tried to play the background and tried to protect her. So as far as I'm concerned, this would just be another example of him doing that. Because remember, he protected her the last time when she got stingy with Halo and got super entitled and tried to come for Consciouztv, and she had to turn around and apologize and, you know, take responsibility for being team too much, and claimed that her issue was the fact that she just did not know that Halo was going to be going to Consciouztv's home. She felt entitled to knowing, you know, where he was going to be taking their son, which is, to me, a privilege, not a necessity, because even when the courts get involved, he will not be appointed to tell her what the fuck he's doing with his son every step of the way, girl. From taking him to the park, taking him to Chuck E. Cheese, to taking him to, you know, his grandmama house, etc., girl. And he came back and did a video basically telling everybody to lay off of Haley and that she's going through postpartum and that he's trying to understand, you know, where she's coming from and he don't want folk dog piling up on her, etc., girl. So, you know, admitting that, yeah, I did not even know my son was walking for the first time. Y'all saw it before I even saw it. I covered her ass when I claimed that, oh, I got the video first. Y'all saw it second. But now that he's frustrated and she's withholding his kid, like, he doesn't feel the need to protect her because she's not protecting DDG. You know, she's not concerned about Halo's bond with his father, according to him. So, you know, he's spilling all of the church's business, girl. All right. Then this video also surfaced of DDG and Blueface when he was not a prisoner, and Blueface was prophesying to him, I guess, about the fact that, yeah, girl, you got to look out for them baby mamas, baby. Look out for them baby mamas. DDG reacts to resurfaced clip of Blueface giving him relationship advice. Quote, we kind of go through the same thing. This is courtesy of Hollywood Unlocked. Check this out.
Imagine if you have like a BM nigga, and you gotta pay her rent, nigga. She taking niggas over there, you gonna be cool with it? No. You gonna stop paying the rent? Duh, nigga, what the fuck you doing? What about the kid? The kid gonna be homeless. No, the kid not. See, I don't plan on having a baby mama. What you mean? You don't never I'm not gonna have no baby mama, bro. Whoever I have a kid with, she is with me for life. It ain't everybody. Yeah. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody. It all starts like that. Exactly how you think, nigga. Yeah. I'm not. Sometimes the kids break y'all up, bro. Sometimes the kids be the reason y'all break up. What he be doing? He be telling on you and shit. I'm cool with my baby mama. I'm saying, like, what the kid? How the kid gonna break me? Still doing that part. Nah, the kid gonna break you up because her emotions gonna get to rising. She might feel like she got something to hold against you, so she gonna be acting different. She might be using the kid to boss you around, you know, to keep tabs on you. And then that might cause you to be so stressed out, like, damn, bitch, she like, no, this, that, you know. You're really mad. They're really mad. Nah, females are. They petty, bro. It is. I noticed that all girls is. Yeah, they all like that. It's not just one or two. All of them are petty. Yeah. So the second y'all get into y'all little situation, y'all little Twitter beef. Yeah. I don't do that. Then the kid, it's like, oh, shit. It's all right. She gonna be acting different. She might be used.
Blueface was able to tell my future in a way because, you know, even though I ain't no damn Crip or no blood or no shit, we both black, we both grew up in struggling environments. We both experienced things. We both, you know what I'm saying, had kids. He had a kid before me, so he was able to give me. Like, it could have missed. I could have been married. I could have been, you know, did everything the correct way, but it's unfortunate that didn't happen, but it ended up being the same circumstances. It be like that, you know? Sometimes we live the same lives in a way. So all that clip really made me understand is that, you know, we kind of go through the same thing, you know? Blueface.
So with that, before we go any further, I want to speak to this whole marriage narrative because it's a lot of conversation right now saying that he should have married her, he should have married her, he should have married her, he shouldn't marry her, he should have married her. This wouldn't have happened had he married her. I don't understand how in a country where 70% of marriages end in divorce, which those divorce rates have gone down some. I think it's now like, what, 50%, which is still totally horrendous, girl. If half the marriages in the country are not working out, and more than half of the marriages at one point were not making it. I'm just trying to understand exactly how a ring and a commitment with the state, which is what marriage really is, was going to save their relationship. Like, a lot of times love don't even save your goddamn relationship, yet alone the ritual of fucking marriage. It's also weird that everybody is acting as if it was DDG who was not seeking to make Halle a wife, when in fact, we don't know if she wanted to be a wife or not. We don't know if she was the one who was not ready to get married, did not believe in marriage. We are living in an age where we are seeing a lot of high-valued women not be married and yet go forth and have children with men. Hence Keke Palmer, a successful Black entertainer. Hence Rihanna, who just supported her boyfriend through a whole goddamn criminal trial, is on her second baby with that boyfriend, not husband. Sky Jackson, who is a pregos and damn near almost caught a damn charge behind her ninja out there in front of Disney World, girl. And then you see entertainers like Beyonce, who got a ring, gave her man 3 kids, and was still cheated on. Damn near almost ended up divorcing her ninja. You see other celebrity women, contrary, like Cardi B, who married, took the ring, and ended up in divorce court, girl, and going through a nasty divorce. So a relationship working is not predicated upon whether someone is made a husband or made a wife out of. To me, marriage only works out in the long run a lot of times, especially in the new age, when people have a business attitude about marriage, when they have a business attitude about the relationship. I think a lot of people who are able to be successful at marriage these days also understand that, yes, I may love my partner and be in love with my partner, but also like there is a partnership. And we are clear about the fact that we are using marriage and all of its legalities, all of its luxury, all of its constitutional advancements to advance the business part of our relationship. It helps us to secure dental, secure insurance, secure, etc. It helps us to build upon this thing called, I guess, a generational wealth. There are certain amenities. Life is also more affordable. You know, you have a partner, not just a, you know, fluffy person to be emotional with for the rest of y'all's lives. I think if your marriage is based upon pure feelings, there probably is a higher likelihood of ending up divorce versus if you're thinking about marriage in the context of the administrative part of a relationship. the mechanical part of their relationship, the business aspect of the relationship. And I think when two people are clear about that, marriage can be more profitable, and marriage can be probably successful, which is probably why Jay-Z and Beyonce have been able to make it this far in, because their marriage is not just predicated upon feelings, it's predicated upon a business model. They have a business agenda as it relates to their partnership. So, relationships, they do not stop the bleeding. Marriage in the ring does not stop the bleeding. And if Halle has a toxic enmeshment, attachment style to her son, that was still going to be the case, even as a married woman, even as a wife. Her hogging their son still would have been a thing. She is a traveling woman. He also has a brand and a business of his own. Just like when I pulled up that video of her in Virginia at her trailer. She been out there for a month and a half. Her baby, according to her, had been with her pretty much the whole time. And guess who was accommodating all of that? DDG. So whether she would have been a wife or not, it wouldn't have stopped her from her unhealthy codependency upon her son, who she has to share with the father. When she traveled, she still would have wanted her son. Okay? She still would have been micromanaging the fuck out of his ass. Even if she was the wife. Even if they lived together. Every time he wanted to take Halo somewhere, he wanted to go do something with Halo, she would have been micromanaging. And her being a wife would not have stopped any of that if these issues are independently hers and a result of her own trauma, a result of her own postpartum. Marriage would not have mitigated her postpartum experience. Marriage would not have resolved her enmeshment issues. They just would have been playing out in the marriage rather than just in the co-parenting scenario. So this weird conversation around, oh, he should have made her a wife, it wouldn't have stopped the issues. And we don't know if she wanted to even be a goddamn wife, especially, once again, in this era where a lot of hyper-successful six-figure Black women are willing to have children with men who are just their boyfriends. Especially in this era where successful Black women are willing to have kids without the ring. And to get more into that, you can find lots of footage of DDG taking Halle on $50,000 dates, buying her $8,000 shoes, spending 20 grand on courtside seats at the game.
But since I'm going with her, I had to spend a lot of money. Because, you know, I be trying to impress her and shit. At first, I was going to go with my brother. We was probably going to sit in the nosebleeds for $30. But since I'm going with her, I went and got these courtside tickets for $10,000 a piece. So she want to look nice and stuff. So we just going to see how it go, man. Y'all stay tuned for the rest of the day. Make sure post notifications on. It's going to be very, 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 very eventful. Break my fit.
Okay, and you can just see a bunch of videos of them going out on dates and spending a lot of money on Halle.
Big ass boots.
And I play these videos to point out the fact that if you think about marriage from the perspective of a successful woman like Halle, you really do have to ask the question of, why would you even need the ring? Successful women, wealthy women, rich women. Let's put this into full context here. Largely, historically speaking, women have really only married because they had a business agenda. Before women had equal rights, before women were allowed to even have their own bank account, they had to depend on a man for access. Women, largely under a patriarchy, could only access rights by way of marriage to a man. Married for the sake of trying to establish and bring in wealth into the family. Women and men under a patriarchy have largely utilized marriage for the sake of business. Now that women are able to be the table, they're able to successfully financially support themselves and their families. What incentive does a rich or wealthy Black woman have to marry? She doesn't. Why would I marry DDG when I already have my own $3 million plus network? I can do for myself and do for how many other kids I choose to have. And I can still get this nigga to spend and splurge all his coin on me, 20 grand on a date, 50 grand on a date, etc. And when you couple in all those infinity stones, what am I left with? The luxury of being able to walk the fuck away without the hassle when I'm sick of this nigga. See, that's a rich bitch luxury. Why would I need to marry as a rich bitch? I don't need him for the money. I got my own. Can take care of my children with or without a nigga. Still get the dick. Still have this nigga spending big on me. Use him for his sperm. And I get the luxury of walking away without the hassle of divorce court. Because once you start walking the pathway of wealth, something you become very accustomed to is convenience, baby. You start earning money and making more money on top of money because money brings about convenience. You don't got to play by the same broke-ass rules when you rich because you ain't going to have the same broke-ass problems. The rules of social engagements change when you start escalating your tax bracket. Okay? So we're watching broke women talk and critique rich Black women. These women are not the same, baby. You and your 4-figure salary is very different from a 6+ woman salary. We're not playing by the same rules when we're talking about rich folk. They live in a different world. This changes the way they want things and what they in fact want and how they want it. So it's clear to me that Halle didn't have a reason to rush to get a ring about a nigga that ultimately it wasn't going to work out with any motherfucking way. Because what doesn't work out relationally ain't going to work out in marriage either. So really, they both avoided wasting each other's time. And they also should not have gotten together solely for the sake of a child. That's toxic in and of itself, and creates a whole nother multiverse of issues and toxicity and dysfunction within a family unit all by itself. Both of them are rich enough to be single parents. And if I was Halle, I would not have understood why I needed marriage either, baby. I got my coin, I got my sperm donor, and I got his ass spending big on me. And when I'm good and ready to be done with his ass, I get to do what I'm trying to already do now, baby, which is live off the hog and get the fuck fully away from that ninja without as much as a goodbye text. If Halle already trying to run off with her damn child, baby, imagine how unnerved she would be being forced to go through an entire divorce proceeding with this damn man. She already trying to get the hell on with the quickness, baby. Imagine how much more a slow-ass divorce proceeding girl would have unnerved her if she would have been forced to be tethered to that nigga through a divorce proceeding on top of a custody proceeding, girl. That's giving too much tether. No, ma'am. So, I don't know if Halle wanted to be the wife. It seemingly she didn't. We live in an age where lots of entertainment, celebrity, wealthy black women are not in need of marriage, and I don't really blame them. She probably could have came out a little bit of extra, she could have came out a little extra richer had she married the ninja. She probably would have been endowed to some alimony, some spousal support. She would have been able to walk away with a certain percentage of his goods, but at the same time, that's an assumption as well, because we don't know if they would have pulled out the old prenup had they even got married. But ultimately, the concept of marriage is optional to rich women. They don't need it. Oftentimes, broke women need marriage. They're trying to find a partner to help them to mitigate that goddamn electric bill and that water bill, baby. And with the cost of eggs being $100 goddamn dollars, baby, they also need to be going a third on the grocery list, child. Okay? So the broker you are, the more of a necessity and desire marriage is gonna be, baby. The richer you are, you can dissolve some of those constructs. You can dissolve some of those concepts, baby. That's not as necessary when you in these folks' tax bracket. So that's all I had to say. Y'all tell me what y'all think about what the fuck is going the fuck on. Also, to DDG's point, when he spoke about how he doesn't get more than 3 days or 72 hours with his son without Halle pretty much popping up and interrupting his quality time. Ironically, this is one of his weeks with his son, and guess who's in his theater room with their son playing patty cake and shit? It's Miss Halle, Ariel, aka Chicken of the Sea.
Oh my God.
So do the veggie dance.
I took them. My bad. Damn it. Perfect.
Okay, that Miss Halle is, baby, at her ninja's house, 72 hours in to his quality time with his son, baby. All right, so we're just gonna see how this thing keeps working the hell out. Will Halle speak to this? We don't know. She's kind of taking the Beyonce route, so we more than likely won't be hearing her side of the situation. But whatever it is, if push come to shove, DDG, go take her ass to court. You now already done tried the internet, and it has not worked to your avail. So unfortunately, you're just gonna have to do what you got to do. And since she has forfeited the opportunity to allegedly work this thing out outside of the court system, baby, then you don't have to consider what you're doing to her by putting her through that system, because she had an opportunity to work all that out outside of the courthouse. Y'all thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share, 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 share. I will see y'all tomorrow. Tell me what y'all think about Wendy Williams, baby, and her escaping Alcatraz, and what y'all think about this DDG Halle situation. Do you think that marriage would have actually saved their situation or have made anything better? Also, all donation information is in the description box below. I will catch you all later. Peace.